What's up, family? Long time. I have been on vacation and I've been away for a little bit, but I am back and I am not going anywhere anytime soon. So glad you guys are tuning in today. But we need to go ahead and talk about a huge warning message, and it may be time for you to start preparing. And I'm talking about preparing for anything. Anything can happen in this day and age. Wouldn't you guys agree? But anyways, starting off, I do want to go ahead and talk about the latest in regards to the Hurricane Beryl that ended up going all the way from the Caribbean to the state of Texas, in which we're specifically talking about the Houston, Texas, in which they are still dealing with electricity outages as of today. And if you guys don't recall, this hurricane actually hit Houston a week ago, last Monday, and here we are almost pretty much 8 days later, and people are still dealing with their electricity not being cut back on. As you can see right here in this article, it says that Houston's Hurricane Beryl electricity outages, and now they are starting to get a little bit frustrated, and people are starting to assign blame and action towards one another. Yes, we are talking about when this particular hurricane was downgraded to a Category 1 when it actually hit Houston, Texas, in which it ended up causing about 2.5 million people to be without power, left in the dark with no one to blame and no one to fix this major issue. And here we are 8 days later, and less than 250,000 people are still without power, guys. This is just insane. As you can see right here, this information came out yesterday around 5 p.m. or so, and it says that the number of center point customers are left without power falls a little bit below 270,000 customers. And like I said, this was less than 24 hours ago. So if you can imagine that they probably are close to around 200,000 customers that potentially still without any power. I know I reached out to a couple of my friends that live in the Houston area, and yes, a couple of them are without power. This is insane. And like it says right here, that below 270,000 people as late as Sunday evening, 6 days, or pretty much 7 to 8 days after Hurricane Beryl tore through the Houston area. But anyways, guys, I definitely want to bring that up to you because some of you out there may live in Houston and some of you may not. You may know some people that live in Houston, and you might want to check on them, guys. And we definitely want to solicit you in your prayers so that we can pray for those individuals that are left without power. Some people don't necessarily have anywhere to go, and they are just sticking it out within their own homes with no power. Can you imagine going this long? Yes, guys, this is definitely not the way an American citizen should have to live in today's day and age. Wouldn't you guys agree? This is 2024. But anyways, pray for those in the Houston areas. Hopefully, by the end of today, everyone's electricity will be restored once again. I will keep you guys posted as usual. Moving on, guys, we also want to go ahead and talk about something a little bit sad or tragic in regards to some people that we all may know over the years, in which we are talking about celebrities out of Hollywood. Yes, Hollywood is now mourning several individuals that ended up losing their lives this month of July. It has pretty much been a very tragic month, if you will. But starting off, guys, you all know the famous guy, Richard Simmons. Yes, guys, he was very, very, very well known, and he was just a lovable guy. He was funny as well as other individuals. But yes, we ended up losing Richard because of his issues that he was dealing with. We also lost the individual Shannon Daughtry. I believe she was on the show 90210. I wasn't a fan of the show, but anyways, she also lost her battle. I believe she was dealing with cancer, if I'm not mistaken. And then we also lost the doctor of sex, the sex therapist, Dr. Ruth Westheimer, who was 96 years old. So she obviously lived there a long time, but she ended up dying on Friday. And those are just some of the few individuals. You guys have heard the story in which we pretty much lose celebrities in regards to 3 at a time. Well, here it is right here. These 3 individuals we ended up losing this month of July. So we definitely want to keep those lifted up in our prayers, their families as well as their loved ones. Keep them lifted up in prayers as well. But anyways, guys, moving on to some of the other tragic news that we had over the weekend, in which we know the former president. Yes, there was an attempted assassination against the former president, Donald Trump. Now, I will go ahead and tell you, I don't care whether or not you are a Democrat or a Republican. It does not matter. This is still a former president, and we need to acknowledge that, as well as if this was Biden. It doesn't matter. Like I said, we don't need to see anyone being assassinated at this type of statute in the country of the United States. Wouldn't you guys agree? But anyways, yes, now we have received updated information in regards to this attempted assassination, in which the FBI is calling the shooting at the Trump rally an attempted assassination. Now, this is very important because the current president, President Biden, has not acknowledged this as an attempted assassination. I don't necessarily know what's going on with Biden, but he is refusing to say that this was an attempt of an assassination of a former president, Donald J. Trump. So anyways, guys, but yes, this did happen over the weekend. I believe this was Saturday, I believe. But anyways, guys, this is very crazy. Who would have thought? I know me personally, I never thought that we would actually see any type of attempted assassination in this country, considering how good our technology is and things of that sort, especially the amount of security that former presidents as well as current presidents have. But anyways, this actually happened against Donald Trump. But anyways, yes, the Secret Service is now questioning how the security had these shortcomings at this rather small Trump rally. I mean, it was sort of large, but it wasn't one of the largest Trump rallies that we have seen in the past. So that's why I say that it was one of the smaller rallies. But anyways, Secret Service is now being questioned in regards to this. And obviously there is an investigation that is going on right now, trying to figure out who is at blame. They did end up finding the individual and actually putting him down, the individual that attempted this potential assassination of Donald Trump. And I do have a potential picture of the actual shooter that I want to show you guys. It is right here. This particular person, his name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. He was actually a 20-year-old. Yes, obviously there is some definitely mental issues going on, perhaps for him to attempt something of this magnitude of a former president. But anyways, guys, this is an actual picture of him, which, as you can see, he looks young. Well, he is young. He obviously probably still lives with his parents. Wouldn't necessarily put that past him. But anyways, it says right here that it's definitely terrifying for someone you went to school with to commit such a heinous act. That's the craziest thing about it when it entered my brain, according to this particular person that was interviewed. But he said that you were in the same class as this person 2 years ago in school. A man who lives on the shooter's street said this information, said that he was shocked to wake up to the news that a neighbor was responsible for the assassination attempt. He said in a statement that, look, it's absolutely nuts, according to Andrew Blanco, which is a 39-year-old man that lives on the same street as this shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks. Again, Blanco said that most people on the block are friendly, but that he rarely saw or spoke to anyone at this particular home where this particular shooter lives at. So obviously they probably didn't come outside. They probably had their own issues, which, like I said, a lot of times that is a clear sign of something that could be stewing up, if you will. But anyways, guys, this has just been a very, very tragic weekend, a tragic week, a tragic month. Hopefully we can end it on a better note as we are entering. Today is the first half of the month of July. So hopefully the second half will be much, 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 much better. Hopefully you guys will pray for that. Join me. I do solicit you and your prayers. We definitely want to have a better month of July because I didn't necessarily talk about, we did have several killings that happened during the 4th of July weekend as well. So a lot of of stuff has gone on this month, and guys, we just need to pick things up, guys, because a lot of people are hurting right now. A lot of people are suffering. Luckily, nothing happened to the former president, Donald Trump. Luckily, it was just his ear being grazed. That is very, very minor, if you will, and he is doing okay. I believe I saw some reports that he actually went golfing the next following day. But anyways, he didn't necessarily travel to the RNC convention that is, I believe, is going to be going on this week or this weekend. And it looks like he is in some good spirits and he is still attending the RNC meeting. But anyways, it does look like he is still going to be speaking. However, I did hear or read that he is going to be changing, or he has been working on changing his particular speech that he was planning on giving at this particular convention after this particular shooting. So obviously a little things need to be changed. Some of his wording, maybe he is not necessarily wanting to be so divisive considering what's going on, especially as he is calling for unity in this country, as well as President Biden is calling for unity as well. But anyways, I will also be calling for unity, and there's also one more person that has been calling for unity as well, which we'll talk about that in just a moment. But we did see some messages come from the former presidents, such as the former President Barack Obama, as well as the former President George Bush. They both sent out their particular messages in regards to this tragedy that ended up happening, and they also were calling for unity in this country. But someone that we don't necessarily hear from, which is the former president Donald Trump's, his wife Melania Trump, in which she also called for unity as well. Check this out right here, where Melania Trump is urging the nation to ascend above the hate in this country after this particular assassination attempt. So that is very good to see from her as well. I know a lot of times we don't necessarily hear anything from her, but here we are. She is speaking out for her husband as well as the former president, saying that we all need to just come above, rise above the occasion, and all need to try to unite together and stop being so divisive, stop being so against one another just because you don't believe what they believe as the best option. Some people believe that Donald Trump is the best option for this country, and then some individuals believe that President Biden is the best option for this country. But even if there is someone that disagrees with what you believe in, we still need to find a way to come together, to unite and get along with each other, versus being against one another, being angry with one another. That is not the way that we want to be living in our lives, in ourselves, as well as in this country. Wouldn't you guys agree? If so, hit the like button on this video. I really would appreciate it. But outside of all of that, let me know what you think about this, guys, especially if you live in Houston. Again, we are praying for you guys. Hopefully the electricity comes back today for everyone by the end of tonight. Greg Abbott has signed a new bill to make sure that this happens. FEMA is also stepping up, trying to do what they can to help individuals out as well. But anyways, guys, we will keep you in our prayers. But anyways, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well as hit the like button on this video. I really appreciate it. Outside of all of that, I hope to see you guys on the next video.